not agreed, but we're getting closer to an agreement on that.
Next time in Moscow.
Russia's going to be helping. Russia wants to see Ukraine succeed. Once
Volodymyr Zelensky did not have an easy 2025. It was another year of war for the president of Ukraine. Russia's attacks escalated and the front lines remained frozen. Zelensky began the year with a showdown at the Oval Office. He met Donald Trump at the White House. A shouting match followed, and he had to walk away without a deal. In the months that followed, there were more meetings, more diplomatic efforts. The tone certainly softened, but peace remained elusive. And now a question looms over Zelensky. Is he ready to give up land? Will Ukraine cede territory to secure peace? Because it seems he cannot have both. Although he's trying. Yesterday he went back to the United States, this time to Miami in the state of Florida, and he met President Trump again. The location was Mar-a-Lago, Trump's golf resort. The agenda was quite simple: find a way to end the war in Ukraine. And like any meeting with Trump, this one too had its moments.
Are you okay? Is everyone fine? Margot, if you would, I think you could sit outside and have some food. Would you like to have food, or do you consider that a bribe? And therefore you cannot write honestly, or therefore you have to write a bad story? Okay, because if you'd like, would you like something to eat at this time? Yes or no? You can speak.
Yes, sir.
Yes? Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Margot,
Yes, sir.
take them outside, tell the chef,
Got it.
serve them a little lunch, okay?
Thank you
Thank
all.
you, Brad.
But right before the meeting, Trump had a surprise call. Guess who was on the other side? Russian President Vladimir Putin. And if this sounds familiar, it's because it has happened before. The last time Trump met Zelensky, he spoke to Putin right before that. Now, once could be a coincidence, but twice is a pattern. And what did they talk about? We don't know because the details are not out, but the intent, we can tell you, was quite clear. The call was designed to shape the Zelensky talks.
I did.
An agreement?
I did. They're going to be helping. Russia's going to be helping. Russia wants to see Ukraine succeed. Once, it sounds a little strange, but I was explaining to the president, President Putin was very generous in his feeling toward Ukraine succeeding, including supplying energy, electricity, and other things at very low prices.
You heard him. Trump says Russia wants Ukraine to succeed. Zelensky obviously has his doubts. Look at his face, and you can't blame him. Meanwhile, Trump remains confident that a peace deal is within reach. For a change, he does not have a deadline. Trump says this could go two ways. This could go two ways. Either the war goes on forever, or all sides agree to a deal and end it now. I must say that's a very deep analysis of the situation.
Our meeting was excellent. We covered, somebody would say 95%. I don't know what percent, but we have made a lot of progress on ending that war, which is really certainly the most deadly war since World War II, probably the biggest war since World War II.
And we discussed all the aspects of the peace framework, which includes, and we have great achievements, 20-point peace plan, 90% agreed, and U.S.-Ukraine security guarantees, 100% agreed. U.S.-Europe-Ukraine security guarantees, almost agreed. Military dimension, 100% agreed.
Trump says 95% has been agreed on. Zelensky says 90%. He has asked for security guarantees for up to 50 years, 50. The US seems to have agreed to 15 years, 15. That's the gap. But by all accounts, most of the peace plan is good to go, except for two things. One is the future of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. It's Europe's largest nuclear plant. It's the backbone of Ukraine's power grid, and right now it is in Russia's control. Moscow seized this nuclear plant in 2022, and since then it has been the site of heavy fighting. An initial proposal by Trump suggested a three-way control for the plant to be operated jointly by Ukraine, Russia, and the US. Kiev did not agree. It said Ukraine and the US could run the plant and share the energy output. So that's the first point to sort out. The second one is territory, and that arguably is the biggest one right now. Russia has captured nearly 20% of Ukraine. This includes Crimea and parts of the Donbas region in the east. Russia wouldn't want to give it up. So will Ukraine give up land to gain peace? That is the biggest question at this point. Zelensky refuses to make any formal concessions, but it's amply clear that he won't be able to recover the territory that he has lost. Ukraine has lost almost all of Luhansk, and 70% of Donetsk is under Russia. So almost all of Luhansk and 70% of Donetsk, that's what Russia controls. It is unlikely that Ukraine will win it back on the battlefield. It is even more unlikely that they will recover it on the talking table. But Zelensky does not want to be seen as the leader who gave away land. That would be a death knell in his political career. So he's stalling. He says only the people of Ukraine can decide this, whether or not to give up land. Only the people can decide, and for that, he wants a referendum.
When we speak about referendum, we spoke that it's one of the key. We can have referendum on any kind of points of this plan. I said that we can use referendum like for the plan, or we cannot use referendum. It's one of the key. We can use, this possibility of parliament to vote according to the law or to have referendum.
Will Russia ever agree to this? By the looks of it, the answer is no. Today, Vladimir Putin asked his generals to do two things: take full control of Donbas and try to gain further control of Zaporizhia.
The enemy's attempts to disrupt the developments of the situation in Kupiansk must be decisively stopped. I know that you are taking all the necessary measures for it. Of course, we must continue the advance along with Vostok Group to liberate Zaporizhia.
So where does this go now? Talks will continue. The US and Ukrainian negotiators could meet again as early as next week, and Trump will also call Putin again, because unless Moscow is on board, any deal is meaningless. Ukraine, Europe and the US will keep negotiating through January. Trump will meet European leaders. So basically, diplomacy is in full swing. Will 2026 finally bring a deal? More importantly, if it does, what would Ukraine look like after the war? The world is watching.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is First Post Live, a brand new show. Your window